right, guys, let's have a serious conversation about the Rise of Skywalker. The box office numbers are out, and the movie has made over $704 million worldwide. Week 2 drop was only 59%, which actually is pretty good. Pretty good right there. I guess hats off to Disney Lucasfilm for that. It didn't do Last Jedi drop, which was, I believe, 67%, something like that. But let's be honest about this movie. Let's look at where we are with Star Wars now versus where it should be. Yes, the movie is going to blow away my 900 million. I predicted 900 million. After that first week, it was looking like it would probably get somewhere around there. It had a strong second week, Christmas, that kind of thing. Kids are out of school. But still, the movie is still tracking to make around Last Jedi money or less. So let's look at where we were with The Force Awakens. That movie came out to over $2 billion. And then they made up a follow-up movie, well, not necessarily a follow-up movie, a standalone movie in Rogue One that made over $1 billion, not connected to the sequel trilogy at all. That's pretty good. And then the problem started with The Last Jedi. Last Jedi made $1.3 billion, but it made over $700 million less than The Force Awakens. And then things got worse. Solo: A Star Wars Story lost money at the box office. The first Star Wars movie ever to do that. And then we hear about all these production problems with this movie here. Colin Trevorrow fired. JJ has to come back. And we get The Rise of Skywalker. And to me, it was very, very unsatisfying. I didn't like the movie. And after that first week, those first week numbers were very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. It rebounded second week, and now people are saying, oh, the movie is back. No, it's not. The franchise is not back. This movie is not back. This movie has been billed as the end of it all. The end of the saga. We're going to get no more Skywalkers in movies. Now, I can make a case they really didn't feature the Skywalkers at all in this series anyway, and that's pretty much been proven. But this saga should have ended on a much, much higher note. It's looking like this movie is going to make somewhere around $1.2 billion. And if it does, that's below The Last Jedi, significantly below The Force Awakens. This should have been the Avengers Endgame of Star Wars movies. It really should have been. I'm not saying that it needed to do, 2.9 billion like Endgame. But when it comes to Star Wars, this movie should have been a $2 billion movie. Let's just call it what it is. This movie will underperform. This movie is probably going to make around $1.2 billion, which is around, I would say, $800 million less than what it should have been. If The Last Jedi wasn't such a dumpster fire, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. Solo: A Star Wars Story wouldn't have lost money, even though that movie wasn't really good either. So I think the bar has been lowered for Star Wars so much, way below what it should be doing. The expectations for Star Wars now are pretty much low to nothing. Now, I know we got The Mandalorian. I know that. It was great. But Star Wars was meant for the big screen. And we're not going to get any great Star Wars movies on the big screen, it seems. The expectations are so low, a lot of the fans have bailed out on this franchise. And for this movie to only make around Last Jedi money is very, very disappointing, very, very concerning. because they told us that this movie was the end of the end. And all the movies going forward are going to be with new characters that we don't know anything about. They're not going to be able to use Luke to sell the movie. They're not going to be able to use Leia, no Han Solo. I mean, maybe Chewie. We don't really know, but Chewie overall isn't really selling tickets. So all of these future movies that they're going to put out are going to be in huge jeopardy because they have no one to sell it. I mean, I like Rogue One, but they use Vader to sell that movie. I don't think they're going to be doing that with any other future movies because they want to distance themselves from George Lucas Star Wars movies. They want to do their own thing now. And it won't be the same. The expectations for Star Wars are slim to none. I have no faith in them at all under this regime to put out a quality movie. Now, on the small screen, I have 100% faith in Deborah Chow. I think Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be really, really good because Deborah Chow directed the 2 best episodes of Mandalorian. I don't know, guys. What do you expect from this? Are you setting the bar so low now that we will take a $1.2 billion movie from Disney that was sold as this is the end of everything? Is that a success? That is not a success. That is a failure. If this movie does below Last Jedi or equals Last Jedi, that is a monumental failure. Even if it surpasses Last Jedi, let's say it makes 1.5 billion, which it has no shot to do that now. It really doesn't. That's a failure. That is a super big failure, guys. The brand is dying. The brand is close to dead on the big screen. I mean, watching this movie, it probably divided the fan base even more than Last Jedi. I mean, fans of Last Jedi, they didn't like this movie. Fans of The Force Awakens didn't like this movie. I mean, what are we going to get in the future? Are we going to go forward with SJW Star Wars? It could be. I mean, what's Kathleen Kennedy's job status? I mean, she's got to be on the hot seat with this. She has to be. And I'm pretty sure that, they had George Lucas. They never wanted to use him. He's been disrespected so many times. It's unacceptable. Star Wars today is unacceptable. The standards are so low now. The expectations are so low now. It shouldn't be like this. I mean, the MCU, man, they knocked it out the park with Endgame. They absolutely knocked it out the park. I mean, they came off a $2 billion movie in Avengers Infinity War, and they upped it by another $8 to $9 million. Star Wars, on the other hand, declining. I mean, Star Wars is not safe. This second week box office number means nothing. To tell you the truth, this movie should have did $704 million in the first week. That's what it should have done, but it took 2 weeks. And now the drop-offs are really going to start happening the rest of the way. Because movies make most of their money in the first 2 weeks. And now people are about to go back to work. We're looking at around 1.2 billion, somewhere around there. But let's not accept this low standard. Star Wars should be much better than this. But under this regime, I doubt that they can do any better than this now. That's how low the standards are. That's how low the expectations are. But we shouldn't accept this. We should not accept this product that they're putting out. It's pretty sad that a $50 million movie in Joker will pretty much perform better profit-wise than a Star Wars movie. That movie was made for $50 million. Now, When it comes to Rise of Skywalker, this movie probably costs, I don't know, 500 million, somewhere around there with marketing. So the break even is probably around $1 billion. So they're going to make a little bit of profit on this movie. It's unacceptable. This movie is unacceptable. The Star Wars movies are unacceptable. Maybe Jon Favreau will get the job from Kathleen Kennedy. It should happen. I mean, what he's done with The Mandalorian, that's a good first step for the future of Star Wars. It just is. She needs to go. Kathleen Kennedy needs to go. Let's keep J.J. Abrams far away from Star Wars as possible. Rian Johnson, he's been gone for a while. I mean, I don't want to hear anything else about a Rian Johnson trilogy. It's never going to happen. You got SJWs crying about Rose Tico being disrespected. I mean, this is the mess we're in right now with Star Wars. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Star Wars, it's in a really, really bad spot, guys. A really, really bad spot. These numbers mean nothing. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on our next video. John Matrixx, out.